Hi, guys. We're live again this morning. I'm in Bakersfield, California. You got Paul right there from Jacksonville, Florida, in the eye of the hurricane coming up this week, and
That's
he
right.
might he might be floating away on us on Friday. We don't know yet. And we got Jason will be joining us from Omaha here in a very short, probably less than 5 minutes. So if you're here for Jason, hang on, he'll be here.
Coach Hack will be here.
Coach Hack will be here in all his glory. Okay, we just first thing I want to say is I want to thank you guys for all the love and support that you're giving our podcast on YouTube. We do ask you guys to continue to support it by sharing it with your friends. Subscribe to it as you can. Hit that smash button, as they say, or smash that subscribe button. Do that. But what's going to help us grow, guys, is if you will share this. Share this with your fellow Hawkeye fans, okay? I'm sharing it all over the internet and all with my friends until they start sending me notes on Messenger saying, "Stop it already! I already watch you."
Add some of those hash browns.
Yeah. And so, but also too, again, we do appreciate the love and the support. We could use the views, we could use the likes, and our ultimate goal is to get to 1,000. We're up at like 160 something right now, 67 or something like that. If you guys could help us get, creep closer to 1,000, that would be great. We can do so much more when we get to 1,000 subscribers. YouTube gives us so much more freedom, and not only that, but it will help pay for the show. And speaking of paying for the show, our sponsor is Scentsy by Terry. Paul's holding up some of the wax. Which flavor you got there, Paul?
This one is Blue Grotto. Blue Grotto.
Ooh, actually, how does that smell like? Pretty good.
It actually does smell very good. It's got a kind of a blue grotto smell to it. But as you can see, I have opened this and started using it. Although this week I don't know if I want to be using anything with blue in it, so we may have to change that up. However, it's not what's in a name; it's what's in a smell, and that's what Scentsy is all about. Hence the name Scentsy. So this stuff makes your house smell great. It cleans your clothes. It cleans your countertops. As you can see here, I've got the Scentsy counter cleaner over here. Let's see if I can get the glare down a little bit. So anyway, counter cleaner from Scentsy, very good stuff. As you guys can see, I mean, we have multiple different products. There's dryer whiffs. There's just all kinds of stuff. Highly recommend it. This is stuff you guys are buying it anyway. You might be buying it from Walmart or Target or Amazon or wherever you're getting your cleaning products from. Why give them your money when you can, support a fellow Hawkeye fan, support their small business. The stuff works fantastic. I wouldn't be in here pimping it every video if I didn't honestly believe in it. So check out the link at the bottom. Tell them, tell Terry you said hi and go Hawks.
Yeah, I get up early to get my warmer going to smell my gridiron rush.
That's right.
Going like that. My warmer's a 49er. You guys can't see it. I got it away from before I had it by the laptop. Now it's away from me, but I get up early to start that smell. So when I walk into my office studio here, it smells blandly. I love it.
Hey, Dean, before we get into Iowa football, I just have a question.
Yeah.
What do you call it when your NFL team wins 2 games in a row?
I call that a winning streak.
Oh, that's what we call those.
Yeah. Does Jacksonville, do they actually know how to win 2 games in a row now that they've done it?
For me, I call it Haley's Comet around here because every now and it is a astrological event when the Jaguars win back-to-back football games. So, congrats, guys. I'm happy for that.
Yeah, and I think Minnesota won a game yesterday too. So I believe, just like Jacksonville, they're 2-1 in their league too.
And I just want to throw it out there too, for all you Hawkeye fans. C.J. Beathard did take the game-winning snap for the Jaguars yesterday.
Okay, now to be fair, Jacksonville blew out their team yesterday. So it's not like he came in the last play of the game and it got them the victory.
Funny thing, they actually brought him in for the sole purpose of victory formation. I don't know why. I can't imagine they were trying to spare Trevor Lawrence any potential harm from taking. But anyway, it would appear the Jaguars coaching staff believes in getting your backup a snap here or there. So when the game is at hand.
Yeah. Oh, Terry would like us to give him her name. Her name is Terry Christensen. And so you will find her all over our Facebook pages. She's an admin, and so you will find her. Okay. Well, I kind of stalled long enough. I mean, I thought Jason's usually on board by now. He must have run into some traffic. So, Jason, sorry, buddy. We stalled long as we could. Sorry. I meant to mute that. Okay.
Well, how's your knee doing?
Okay, my knee is not doing well. I got some great shots at the doctor on Thursday. Yes.
Fireball?
Man, that was almost instant relief. See, the problem I have not only with the knee and the potential surgery I'm going to have in October sometime. We still don't know that. We won't know that until I get my MRI done in October. Okay. But the potential problem I've got that's a situation is on the same leg as the knee. I'm also experiencing a sciatica flare-up. And anybody who's had a sciatica flare-up knows that you can barely walk in the pain you got in your leg as you do it. It starts in your back and it goes all the way down to your feet. And so, I'm compounding both of them. Yeah, Terry says she had a knee replacement. Let's put that up there. Terry, did it take you long to recover from that knee replacement? Anyway, I have a torn meniscus, in case anybody cares. I don't know how crucial that is, but right now I'm not allowed to get on there and do any walking or biking or very much at all. So, unfortunately, I live by movement and exercise and just to feel like I can't move around much anymore. And the doctor told me to stay away from exercising. And my son-in-law, who lives next door, just put up his homemade gym with some weights and got a fantastic treadmill. We're working on adding a bike to it. We've working on that. We haven't got confirmation that we can still buy it yet, but the price is good.
Yeah.
Terry took a good year and she started with a torn meniscus. Terry, you are not full of good news this morning. Okay. All right. Anyway, dang, Jason's really taking his time to get here today. I hope he's okay.
I'm sure everything's fine. That rush hour Omaha traffic, okay?
Yeah, true. If they just crossed the bridge into Council Bluffs, they'd be better. I'm just kidding. The two bridges into Council Bluffs. Anyway, so here we go. We played a game on Saturday night against Rutgers, and it actually only lasted about 3.5 hours, right?
It was short by Iowa football standards this season.
Yeah, there you go. And so, how do we, I don't know. I think this was Iowa's, personally, I think this was their best game to date.
Of course.
I think overall, I mean, the defense, what can you say about the defense? I mean, they did give up another touchdown drive, which happened late in the game, but dang it. We didn't have our reserves in, did we?
Some, yes.
Some of them were reserves? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
But anyhow, I was really hoping that we just keep that 3 points on there, but, it's fine. Iowa is now number 1 in scoring defense in the nation.
You know, Iowa fans are never happy, right? I mean, we're
Right.
never happy with anything. You know, there were fans after the Iowa State loss that said, "Well, Iowa won't win another game. They'll beat Nevada, but they won't win another game." Good morning, Casey. You know, and so yeah, I don't know where those people are now. They were a vocal idiocy. You know, that Iowa wouldn't win another game after Nevada. You know, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah. And
Uh,
so let's save the part of that talk until Jason can join us. I know
Yeah.
he's got a few things he wants to address on that. So let's just finally focus on the game. Our Justin Jacobs finally got in and played 2 downs, and now he's done for the year.
that is an unfortunate loss. You know, here's the thing. This defense is so deep. I mean, literally, we have kind of an embarrassment of riches on that side of the football, to the point where, you know, you have a guy like Xavier Wampa. We can't find a place for him on the field right now. Now, maybe with the Jacobs injury, you know, maybe it's possible we do see a little bit more of X, but I mean, I want to see more of Sebastian Castro on defense. I want to, you know, certainly, you know, Cooper is playing lights out football. You know, so
we can't even get X-Man on the field.
that's what I mean. Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches right now. Knock on wood. Right. So, look, but Jacobs was the starter for a reason, right? And it's because he was the best player for that position. And so I don't want to give off the intention and the impression at all that I don't think that there's not a loss there by losing Jacobs, because that is absolutely not the case. But this happens to be a place where Iowa can absorb some attrition and not lose a ton. Now, this week in particular, I think we would have loved to have had Jacobs, but I'm hoping, especially based on Castro's performance against Rutgers, that that maybe we see a little bit more of Castro kind of in that cash role, that extra kind of safety linebacker hybrid.
Right. Well, I think you've been seeing Logan Klemp in that role. I mean, he's the one that initially filled in for Justin Jacobs, and I see he's still on the stat lines, getting a couple tackles here and there. He's not doing anything spectacular, but although he did recover a fumble in the end zone against Iowa State that saved a touchdown.
But you know what's more important is, you know, maybe he's not doing anything spectacular, but we also didn't go, oh God, Klemp came in and, you know, he got
hurt the team.
Yeah, that hasn't happened either. So
no, and I'm happy because I've been kind of pimping Klemp for a couple of years now, and he's finally, you know, his senior year, he's finally getting his chance to shine, thanks to a couple of injuries here and there. But which also, you know, it's just really, that just says a lot about Klemp, you know, because I wanted to bring it up that X is still not playing the defense with us yet, and you know, and I would think that Klemp would take the bench over X any day. And so I just really, you know, because I personally know the guy, and you know, and it's just like, I'm excited for him.
Speaking of knowing the guy, everybody cheer because Coach Hack is here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jason, when you play this back, you're going to find out we went the long way around to try to hold out before we started on you.
No, that's fine. Traffic was a killer today. The sun's bright, and they don't know how to drive when the sun's out.
Oh, really?
The sun's bright, and then when the sun's like bright in the driver's eyes,
yeah,
it's heck to pay. But anyway, Klemp and X play 2 different positions, boss.
Well, I thought they were both cash safety.
No, Klemp's a linebacker.
He was linebacker, but they had him listed as a starter at the cash.
That's news
Maybe
to me.
I'm wrong.
X is learning safety. He's not learning the cash.
Okay. All right.
If everybody starts, the DeJean would be the cash.
Okay.
And Castro is the cash now, and DeJean's moved to corner.
Okay. My bad. Okay.
No.
Klepp is probably playing a
That's
linebacker.
because of Terry Roberts, right? If Terry was healthy, then okay.
And then if Terry was healthy, DeJean would be playing the cash.
Okay.
Yeah. So speaking of Terry not playing this week, it caught us everybody off by surprise.
Wait. Can we need to make sure that's Terry Roberts we're talking about now, not our Terry. Hi, Terry.
Right.
No, our Terry's good to go. Well, not good. It doesn't sound like with the knee replacement. That sounds.
Well, she was just talking about her experience because we actually talked about mine. We were talking about me having to get one, and she was chiming in.
Okay.
So I'm the one that needs the sympathy now.
Good morning, Casey. Thanks for being there with us every morning.
That's right.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We do.
Can you guys hear a dog?
Yes.
You can?
I do hear a dog.
That's okay.
Is that yours?
Something's driving her crazy. I'll be back.
All right.
Okay, so along those lines of Terry Roberts, I have this feeling, though, that he could go this week. He might be available this week. Maybe they were sparing him because it was a game time decision. He was warming up. He was out there warming up, so that's good news. And did it surprise you to find out that that Arlen Bruce is actually semi-injured too? That's the reason why he didn't get a lot.
It doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, we've asked an awful lot of him because he's been our only scholarship wide receiver. So I mean, no.
And so he didn't. So they protected him by not putting him on kickoff returns and punt returns. Although I thought Caleb Johnson did an excellent job.
Right.
I think he averaged 30-something. Is it 30-something yards total? I mean, per carry.
Here's the thing: when your defense, doesn't give up scores and whatnot, there's not a lot of opportunities in the kick return game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right, that's true too. But also, what else were we going to say? Oh yeah, and guys, my mind is all flustered. I'm probably going to have to end up letting you guys carry this show today, but I don't know if you heard it, Jason. We were just talking about Arlen Bruce being banged up to the fact that they protected him by not using him on punt returns or kick returns. But I thought Caleb Johnson was a nice fill-in for part of it.
No, Caleb's. I mean, to be honest, the way the running backs are pass blocking, Caleb might as well be RB1.
Yeah,
seriously, those sacks that we're blaming on the offensive line, they're not all on the offensive line. Sometimes the line is blocking good, and the running back completely can't figure out where the blitz is coming from, or just completely whiffs his block.
Yeah.
So it's not. I mean, the pass pro's on both the running backs and the offensive line, because there's a lot of times the offensive line gets all their guys, especially last week, and then the running back completely whiffs on his guy. So
I thought Gavin did that a few times. I thought Gavin.
And Gavin's the one that should know, right?
Yeah, no, right.
So, I mean, I can understand why Johnson isn't RB1, because talent-wise, he's RB1, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to know pass protection. That's a huge deal. Or you can't pass with a running back there, right? Mm-hmm. So, but with none of them really blocking well at all, you might as well just let Johnson be RB1, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting much. Go ahead. I was just going to say, because you're not getting much difference, right? And if Johnson does know who to block on a particular play, he's a better blocker, right? He's a bigger body. He can block a lot better. He's not just going to get ran over like one time LaShawn did, poor guy. But LaShawn knew who to block one time, but it didn't matter. He's so little, he got put on his butt. But no, I mean, Johnson, it's exciting. It's kind of what a lot of us thought. I know a couple people who were telling me that Johnson would be RB2 before the end of the first 4 games. You know
what?
what?
I have a question, Coach.
What's up?
All right. So could some of this be on the communication? I believe we put a lot of the line calls on the center position. And I'm not trying to call out, Logan here. What I'm trying to get at is, for the last 3 years, we had Tyler Linderbaum making the calls, from the center position. Is it a matter of, and we've seen the kind of the delayed snaps and things like that. Are we having a communication issue, trying to get the line calls out, and that's why we're seeing free rushers from time to time, the backs, because they all do have to work together, right? And if the back isn't getting the call or somebody's not getting the call, are you seeing any of that?
Yes. I mean, that's a huge thing. And I think that's why they blocked better last week, having that even front. I think that they were able to know who to block. So what that does tell you is when they know who to block, they can actually do it. They really obviously are struggling when they don't know who to block. So when we talked about before last week how the offensive lineman would just whiff or wouldn't block anybody, I think a lot of it has to do with the communication. Like before the snap, they're up there, they don't really know who to block. And that falls on the offensive line coach. I mean, he has to be a teacher. They have to learn. Logan's got a lot to learn, right? And the snap issue tells me that it's not a natural position for him, right?
Right.
He doesn't have in his mind, he's got to wait until he hears the hut, if they're going on one, right? So he's got to wait till he actually hears the hut instead of anticipating the hut. That's your delay snaps. Like it's not a natural position to where he's snapping on the hut, right? Because he knows it's coming. Obviously, the line knows when it's coming. So, but he has to wait until he actually hears. And this is on the offensive line coach too. This is something that can be taught, right? In the film room, when you know how you're seeing the delay snaps, they see it, right? So you would tell him you have to anticipate the hut, right? Because everybody's going to go on the hut, but the ball has to go a millisecond first, right? So then it looks like they're all going together, and it's not happening. But that's teachable. So that's, I protect coaches. Everybody who knows me knows that, right? I'm a defender of coaches. There's just no defending this offensive line coach. This is the first coach that I really don't think he knows what the heck he's doing. Like I've never seen this bad of coaching at the Division I level. As far as a positional coach, I mean, obviously there's bad head coaches, right? You see teams lose, not because of not because they don't have talent, but because their coach just doesn't know what to do on game day. My Denver Broncos is one of them right now. Boy, they're wasting timeouts. But anyway,
did they win?
They won. I mean, they won Iowa style. If you watched the last 5 minutes of the Denver game last night, it was like watching an Iowa game.
I was asleep by the time the end of the game came.
They had the lead. They got their 3 tight ends out there. They're playing smash mouth, trying to waste the clock, making 49ers use their timeouts. It was like watching Iowa. It was amazing. I was like, what is going on here? Both of my teams run the same freaking offense. And one of them has Russell Wilson. Anyway, yeah, this offensive line coach is just awful. I don't think he's a good teacher. There's a disconnect between the O-line and the teacher. I mean, there really is. So
I think a lot of it, I'm not an expert on the line, but I can see the obvious. Like, when people were writing, well, Spencer should see that blitz coming. He probably does see it coming, but he also expects his guys to block. And, when you got one lineman who twice turned around and blocked air and let the guy who ended up sacking Petrus get through, there's nothing Peters can do about that. He can't block and pass.
Well, but as a quarterback guy, I'll agree to disagree on that. Because, for example, this one play there's another play that tears my soul out in this game. The reason Petras don't have touchdown passes, it's like he doesn't want touchdown passes, and that's silly to say, right? Mm-hmm. He had Arlen Bruce wide open for a walk-in touchdown.
He did.
Right in front of him on the drag route, and he had Laporta doing the corner route or something in the corner of the end zone. He was double covered. Nobody covered Bruce coming across, right? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to your blitzes, you as a quarterback, you get excited when teams blitz. You want them blitzing because you know where the open area of the defense is.
Right.
So, I mean, even let's just say he sees it, and even if he doesn't see it, but if it's coming, it's right over his head. There's when you're a passing team, I know I was not, so this just went, but when you're a passing team, you want teams to blitz. Like my guy, Mike Leach, he wants you to blitz the house. He doesn't want you to drop 8. That makes it harder, right?
Right.
So, Petras, I mean, there's so many things about this team on the offense that I've never really seen before. Well, I've never seen a quarterback who can't like read a defense, or he knows where he's going before he snaps the ball.
I believe we call that simplifying the offense at Iowa. Seriously, it's predetermined. The ball is going here. Double coverage be damned. Arlen Bruce running, completely uncovered, but no, the ball is going to Laporta.
Right.
It's almost like
simplifying the offense.
It's almost like they know that Iowa's going to throw the ball to double coverage to Laporta to go ahead and leave.
Well, they knew.
Leave Bruce open because he's wide open.
Well, they know Laporta is the quarterback's main guy, right?
Yeah.
So they try to take Laporta out of the game. So let them take Laporta out of the game, right?
Yeah.
Hey, double cover Laporta. We're just not going to throw to him.
Yeah.
But no, we got to force it to him. I don't know.
For whatever reason. Our quarterback is very comfortable with throwing to our tight ends because they get the bulk of the catches and the bulk of the targets. And
it's hard to overthrow Sam Laporta.
Yeah. Reganey gets 1 target, but he falls and slips before he can catch the ball. Bruce gets 2 targets or 1 target?
1 target.
1 target. Okay. And he catches it for like 5 yards or something.
Yep.
And of course, the one and the touchdown would have been, everybody saw it, including the announcers. The announcers brought it up too.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did. They mentioned it.
It's the silliest thing ever. There's a reason Petras hasn't even thrown 20 touchdowns in his career in 3 years.
Right.
I mean, has he? Has he hit 20 yet?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
He had 9 his very first year, but I don't. Oh yeah, he's hit 20. I think so.
He might be right around. He might be right around 20.
Yeah, I think he threw 10 last year, so he's at 20, right on 20 now. Because he's got 1 touchdown, I think, this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
There's a reason for that.
And then there was Nate Stanley trying to catch Chuck Long on the touchdown passes his career. It's like
not throwing interceptions.
Right.
I mean, Nate Stanley only threw 23 interceptions. Mm-hmm. And Chuck Long threw 46.
Yeah.
So going from Nate Stanley to now, it's tough, right?
Right.
So I mean, that's why I defend Brian.
Right.
When you see all these wide open receivers, give me a freaking break. There is one position that is struggling. He played better, right? And I agree, 100% agree. There was Laporta dropped 3, I think, right? 2 or 3. So there was drop passes, but then there was also plays like the Bruce one that would have been an easy walk-in touchdown.
Right.
So,
but it seems like too, Spencer kind of gets excited when he sees an open guy too, and he's like, "Oh my God, he's open!" And he just,
sometimes
throws it 10 feet over his head.
He does do that sometimes. I'll agree. He did it in the bowl game on that one play to Reganey. But then he also hit the play in the Penn State game, remember, to Reganey. Mm-hmm. So he did have that one moment in the bowl game where I believe it was Reganey wide open, and he throws into God's country, and there was nobody around him.
Right. Poor Reganey's family.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't
were
look
so
happy.
sad. They were so sad, mad.
They were. They did not look happy. I think they expected a few more targets for that boy.
Yeah, but it's about winning. You can't just target somebody unless he's open.
I know it.
You know, on that play, they did target him. He was wide open, but he fell down.
Right. You know, it's just I just don't understand. I guess I don't understand why we're not targeting the wide receivers as much. I realize that Laporta's his favorite target. Lachey's his second favorite target.
I mean, I'll be devil's advocate here, because I don't understand why that's a big deal to Iowa fans.
Okay.
Georgia don't target the wide receivers. Last year, they won a national championship with a tight end that caught 56 balls, and the next closest wide receiver was with 26 balls. Oh. I mean, it doesn't matter who gets it as long as they're open. Right?
I guess. I mean this whole for the first time, I feel like we've got some talent in the wide receiving room, and I don't want them to get discouraged and think, man, if I don't get enough targets, I'm looking elsewhere next year.
I mean, let them. That's really not a big deal. Let them go to Purdue, throw the ball over the yard, and lose games. I mean, Iowa's not going to always
healthy and on the field too, right? You know what I mean? Right. Like right now, I feel like Saturday night, Bruce wasn't playing at 100%. We had no Keegan, and
I don't think Breck played at all either. I don't think he came in for any plays. Did he come in?
Breck played the whole game.
He did?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We just didn't throw him the ball all game. Okay.
Breck was a blocking machine. There was a couple times where he put his guy on his butt. Okay. I was impressed with Breck, but he's a big dude, right?
Right.
I mean, they should have thrown the ball a couple times if he was open. Like, I don't want to lose games because you're throwing to the receivers for the hell of it.
Right. True.
To me, that doesn't what doesn't make sense to me is Bruce shouldn't have been playing. It should have been like Jack Johnson could have ran all those same routes, right?
Right.
And not got the ball thrown to him. It's I mean, that's the only part that makes it silly is I understand we all know Kirk. Paul, wake up. You awake?
Yep, I'm good.
I don't understand. Like, I mean, we all knew what was going to happen the moment those two defensive touchdowns happened, right? Mm-hmm. The offense wasn't going to just start airing it out like they did against Nevada. It was going to be a ground and pound, and it looked a lot better. They had an 85-yard drive for a field goal. They had a 75-yard drive for a touchdown, right? Mm-hmm. So, and they had 2-3 less possessions than Rutgers because of the defense. I mean, so they had 277 yards, but they got less possessions because of the defense. I mean, we can discuss the first two games that were just flat out awful, right? Right. But when you watch the next two games, these last two, the defense you could see why Iowa doesn't get the yards that most teams get when you have a defense like Iowa's.
Right.
Parker wants to score. You ever seen guys intercept the ball and then just kind of run out of bounds or fall down because they're excited they got an interception?
Yeah.
That's not Parker's style. Parker says, get that ball and go score with it, right? So,
yeah. And I have to give Merriweather credit because I think if he wanted to have that last interception and keep it in his hands, he could have, but he realized field position there and just dropped it.
Well, I think he almost caught it. I think he was like in the half and half phase, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, another pick. Oh, but I probably better not. And it was kind of, he had it in his hands and it just went down his belly because he was like he didn't know what to do. He was like,
Kirk did mention in his news conference that he made the right decision.
Yeah. I mean, I would have caught it. I'm not going to lie. Because the game was over. I mean,
right.
The game was essentially over.
You got to add to your pick total, right?
Oh, yeah. Because at the end of the year, you're going, man, we could have had 20, not 19.
But maybe he's already working on his NFL highlights thinking, oh, I know he's not thinking that because you don't think all that, but thinking, oh, I got to have a highlight where I don't want to give up field position, so I'm going to drop that one.
Yeah. I mean, he had a great game. He had a pick. He had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Castro is a hitting machine.
Yeah.
I love Terry. Terry covers well. Obviously, Terry probably covers better than Castro, but boy, Castro brings it. I mean, and Cooper, he doesn't hit hard, but he doesn't really miss a tackle. You notice?
No.
He wraps him up. Like he grabs him by the whole body for the most
right.
part. And just kind of throws him to the ground.
He seems to be a lot where the ball's at, too. He seems to have a nose for where the ball is.
Well, it's because they're throwing his way and not Moss's way, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, yeah, Moss has to keep his brain in the game. I think he gets bored that they're not throwing at him.
And then when they do, he kind of loses it for a second.
Yeah, when they do, he's going, oh, crap. There's twice in the last game he turned the wrong direction or he had a pick in the end zone both times. He could have had 2 picks in the end zone, but he turned the wrong way for whatever reason. He turns towards the sideline instead of toward the middle, and he wouldn't have had to do that spin, right? Because he would already been turned the other way. I think, I mean, Moss is Moss. He gets burned a lot just because he wants the interception. He wants to pick 6. If you remember last year against Kent State, he got burned, 3 times for over 100 yards? And it's because he's one of those corners that you can do a double move on because he wants the pick, right? So if you do an out and up, Moss is going to break on that out because he wants you to throw the out. And that's why he gets burned. But this year, I think it's more he's just like shocked when they throw the ball his way.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see how he's grown. If you remember his very first game against Purdue, he got burned really bad for a couple of easy touchdowns. And they had to end up pulling him for somebody else in the game.
Yeah, and then he turns around against Minnesota and had 2 picks his freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems that everybody burns Iowa corners, though, with Purdue.
Yeah. Not Charlie. Charlie's not going to burn Iowa this year. Our corners are going to be ready.
Yeah. No, you need route running to burn Iowa corners. That's the key. Route running. That's why David Bell did what he did. Because
not only that, but he had speed. I mean, he had speed. Sometimes he could just catch the ball in traffic and just outmaneuver everybody out of that hole and run for yardage. But if you guys noticed this week I did not track the Charlie tracker, so I have no idea how he did.
I do. I mean, but that's just because I follow everybody in the Big Ten.
Right.
All I know is Purdue they should have lost to Florida Atlantic. All I know is the Big Ten sucks. This is what I know.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Ten
Purdue,
Big Ten is just not very good.
They won, right? At late. They won late, I think, on a Charlie Jones touchdown catch.
They won 28-26.
Yeah, and I believe, according to the highlights on the Big Ten wrap-up show, the final drive, I believe it was Charlie Jones who caught that ball.
No,
Purdue the win.
No, it was a touchdown run.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then BTN's fooling me then because they.
Well, I mean, Charlie had 9 catches, but only 60 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay, now I know how he did.
Wisconsin sucks. Purdue sucks. I mean, it might be Illinois and Minnesota's division with Iowa. If Illinois doesn't lose to Indiana on some crazy plays, Illinois would be undefeated. Illinois looks good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for Illinois, right? You're not looking at your 10 years ago Illinois, 5 years ago Illinois. I mean, this Illinois team looks pretty good. They're already got themselves
Wisconsin 2.0.
But they're throwing the ball more than Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I think they threw the ball. Didn't they throw the ball like 40 times a couple of games? Their last game, I think they did. And but they have a good quarterback now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said in the beginning of the year is I love Indiana's quarterback and I love Illinois' quarterback. Transferred from Syracuse, and he was really good at Syracuse, but they want a running quarterback, and he's not a running quarterback, but he's accurate.
Speaking of Indiana quarterback, I did not realize that their quarterback had transferred and not graduated because I can't remember. He was in somebody else's uniform from last year.
Washington.
Quarterback.
Missouri.
Washington.
Was it Missouri's uniform he's quarterback?
No.
Wait, are you talking about Indiana's old quarterback?
Penix.
Yeah.
At Washington.
Oh,
Penix.
okay.
Penix.
Yeah.
Who's he playing for? Because I saw he was in somebody else's uniform.
Washington.
Yeah.
Washington. Okay. How's he doing
their
for
quarterback
that?
now? Their quarterback they have now came from Missouri.
Okay.
Connor Bazelak. Yeah, I almost put a bet on the Washington Michigan State game, and I didn't realize Penix was at Washington. Then I realized it, so I didn't do it. Because Penix is a good quarterback.
I wonder why he's not at Indiana anymore.
Because they didn't want him. Like, they were going to bench him for the kid who's on the bench now. But
everybody else goes out and gets a transfer portal quarterback, not us. We're going to ride and die with who we have.
Well, no, it's because they don't trust anybody to come in and learn the offense.
Right.
So even if you go get a transfer quarterback, he's not going to play because they don't know how to dummy down the offense.
Right.
It's the strangest thing ever. I don't know. I've been frustrated. The last game looked really good though. So, and I still think with this defense, and I think the offense will do pretty much what they did in 2016. I mean, did you see those stats that Iowa won in 2016?
Yeah, they were horrible offensive stats.
Yeah. CJ only threw for 66 yards, but they won, right?
Right.
So,
they did run though. They did run the ball quite well.
Wadley did. He averaged like 4.5 yards a carry, but he was the only one who did anything, right?
Right.
But that's what we're going to see this time. And this defense is better than that defense. And I don't think this Michigan team is as good as that one, especially after watching. And I'm glad JJ is starting quarterback for Michigan. He's exactly who I think he is right now. He's a guy who runs a 4.40. But you know what? They like to run the ball and then throw the ball. They don't do options. They don't do quarterback runs. So they're not.
They're playing basic football.
What?
Michigan's playing basic football.
Yeah, they just spread you out, but they run the ball like we do, right?
Right.
The difference between Michigan and Iowa is Michigan runs the ball out of 4 wide, with a running back, and we like our tight ends, and they use their tight ends too, but they're in shotgun more often than Iowa would be. But I just think this defense is going to shut them down, and I think JJ is going to throw 3 or 4 picks. I really do, because watching how he threw 3 or 4 picks against Maryland, that if they had Iowa secondary, they would have been picks, right? It's about catching the ball. Can you think of how many drops that the Iowa defensive backs drop? Heck, how many do the linebackers drop, right? Very few. That's what's huge part about what Iowa's defense does is they don't drop picks. I can only think of Cooper's, and then, that was a real drop, and he admitted it and did push-ups for it. And then this last one that it could have been like half and half, where Merriweather was like, fair catch. No, better not. So those are the only ones. When it hits a defender or our defense's hands, they catch it. And that's on Parker. That's just Parker making you accountable. Don't you dare celebrate if you knock the ball down if you can pick it, right?
Right.
If you don't dive and tip it away, that's a celebration play, right? Because you probably couldn't have caught it. But if that ball hits you in the hands, you better catch it. They catch the ball better than Iowa receivers. It's crazy, to be honest.
Maybe we should switch some positions around a little bit.
But we need the defense to win.
Yeah, true.
People are saying they want Cooper to go both ways, but, he's already doing too much. He's doing everything. Punt returning, and then he's out there. Do you see him? He's on every special team. The only special team I don't know he's on is the kickoff team, right? obviously he's not on the field goal unit and all that, but I'm talking about on the defensive side of things. And he's probably out there on the kickoff team. I just don't know. I just haven't seen it yet, right? I mean, he's a gunner. He basically is like Terry. When Terry's out there, there's 2 Terrys on the field, right? Because he was doing the same this last game without Terry. I mean, this team is so much better than what everybody wants to give him credit for, and it drives me crazy. And my boredom lets me get into these silly arguments with these crazy fans who, right? Because I get bored, I'm just like, all right, yeah, all right, I just go back and forth like an idiot, but I'm bored. So when my job is college football, I don't have a whole lot on my plate but watching football, right?
Correct.
So how about you, Paul?
And what would you like to know?
I just know you're over there looking like you partied all night.
No, that was Saturday night. No,
what's your take on Iowa's defense and the Michigan game?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know we'll probably do a Michigan preview, but look, if Spencer can continue to be average, right? Just throw catchable passes, which is what he's done the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
This team's going to be awfully tough to beat. I don't care if it's Ohio State or Michigan or whatever. The defense is going to allow us to stay in the football game, and now it's just a matter of who blinks first. Because I don't think it's going to be the Iowa defense that blinks, and so then the question becomes: Can the offense do enough to come out on top at the end? And I happen to think with the game in Kinnick, I like where you were going with Iowa getting a turnover or 2 against Michigan. I do see this as a very real possibility.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm just ready, because this is the game that's going to make or break Iowa's season.
Absolutely. And this is the one that's going to hopefully get some of the fans back on the bandwagon here. That Iowa State loss really kind of devastated the fan base in a sense that, I mean, there was people out there saying, well, they'll beat Nevada because, they'll beat Nevada, but after they won't win another game after that. Like, no, that was,
right. But that's the dumbest thing. They do that every year, and that's why I call them out on it every year. And I'm always like, I'm right, and they get mad when I say that, but it's true.
Yeah,
I mean, they did it. I can remember in 2019, they had back-to-back losses. And they were like, I want to say they were 6-3, because they were 6-1, and they had back-to-back losses, and the last one was against Wisconsin on that 2-point conversion quarterback draw by Stanley, remember, where he didn't quite get in. After that game, everybody was, they're not going to win another one. They didn't lose another one.
Right.
They ended up going 10-3. Like, so yeah, those fans are just, I can't. Terry is getting really mad at me. I'm supposed to let you talk, Paul.
Oh.
I tried. I told him. I let Paul talk. Yeah. I said, hey, what do you think, Paul? I think do all the talking.
I think we should take a look at our picks from last week, because we're getting close to an hour in here.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do this. Our first game was Baylor at ISU. I picked Baylor. You two picked ISU. I'm up on one on you guys.
Hey, in my defense, I wrongfully assumed that they were going to play that game at Jackass Trice at night. I just figured that was going to be their, premier home game of the season. Like, homecoming, whatever. I don't know, but I really thought it was going to be a night game, and because Iowa State has that they do typically have a signature home upset win, and that's what I was calling for.
Yeah, I mean, they were right there most of the game. I mean, they weren't really that far out.
I was just rooting for Iowa State. I mean, I wanted Iowa State to win.
By the way, for the fans that are calling for like Cooper to play both ways, pretty sure Dylan Doyle had a touchdown for the Baylor Bears. And
he did
play both ways.
Well, he plays for their.
He did have a touchdown, but I just
like he does. He's their starting linebacker, but he also plays fullback sometimes, and he caught a touchdown pass by playing fullback.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
nobody covered him.
He's not playing both ways like every snap or anything like that. But they'll throw him in there on the offense. They'll sneak him in here and there. That's all.
Yeah. On short yardage plays, they do. Yep.
Yeah.
Dang, we shouldn't have fired his dad. We could have kept him. Okay. Maryland at Michigan.
Too soon.
Huh?
Too soon.
Don't
say that. Don't say that.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Right now, everybody just turned off their TVs. It's over.
It was a joke. It was tongue in cheek. Sarcasm at its best. Okay. Maryland at Michigan. We all picked Michigan. Nothing to Florida at Tennessee. Jason and I picked Tennessee, and if I remember right, Paul, you wanted to be different, so you went with Florida. Tennessee wins the game, but barely.
Well, he lives in Florida, so he was.
Yeah, that's true.
He was hoping for the hometown team.
Yeah. And then we had Wisconsin at Ohio State. We all picked Ohio State. God, did that final score surprise you guys at all?
No.
No? Okay. It did me a little bit.
I mean, it scares me. Like, I mean, Ohio State is a team that could beat Iowa by 21, right?
Yeah.
I can't. Well, that's another matchup I can't wait to see because it'll be up to Iowa's offense to control the ball, right?
Right.
That's
away from you. Kind of have to keep it out of the Ohio State offense's hands.
I could be wrong on this, but I think Wisconsin's defensive back room is about like Iowa's wide receiver room right now.
Yes.
They're just
kind of depleted.
Yeah.
They're down three corners. So, yeah. No, you're right, Paul.
Well, I did say yesterday I feel comfortable, and I got three more sure wins for Iowa this year, Wisconsin being one of them, Purdue being one of them, and Nebraska being the other. The others I'm throwing in a 50-50 category. Okay.
If you think Northwestern is 50-50 right now.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. That's the one I missed yesterday. Okay, we got 4 sure wins. We have 4 sure wins.
Yeah,
Nebraska.
I'm with you, Paul.
I could not figure it out in my head yesterday. I knew I was missing a team. It was Northwestern.
Yeah. My mind, Paul was just reading my mind on that right there, but I didn't want to say it.
No, that's fine, guys. Thanks for calling me out on it because I could not. 4 sure. I know we got 4 sure wins right now. Okay. All right. Okay, so now moving on, Minnesota at Michigan State. I was the fool that picked Michigan State. You guys both picked Minnesota, and I got to give it to Minnesota. They look dang impressive, didn't they?
I mean, why would you go against your Big Ten West champ? we went with your champ. Michigan State just isn't good.
Maybe because
I got Michigan. Go ahead.
Maybe it's because this was a team. I don't want Minnesota to win the West, okay? I feel like they're destined to head that direction. But at the same time, when they play a team that I think they can lose to, I'm going to pick the other team.
Yeah, I was completely wrong about Michigan State. That was my knucklehead team.
Didn't the West go like 3-1 versus the East over the weekend?
Did they?
Well, I mean, Iowa over Rutgers, Minnesota over Michigan State.
We lost to the Ohio State on the Wisconsin
there was
game.
The one. Maybe it was just 2-1. Maybe we only had 3 crossover games this week.
Yeah, I don't know who else we had because I don't remember all the Big Ten games. Indiana got beat by Cincinnati. I don't know why. Why would they schedule Cincinnati? That's like, that could be a Power 5 school next year or the year after.
Well, I think sometimes these games are scheduled well in advance, maybe 2-3 years in it. And Cincinnati, while good 2 or 3 years ago, certainly wasn't, considered a playoff,
Okay.
Not playoff caliber.
Yeah.
All right. So here's this. Jason and I both went 4-1, and Paul, you went 3-2.
Take
this week, and I'll try to keep the rest of the season. I will try to keep these stats. I'll try to pick 5 more games at that game. I won't pick so easy ones like Ohio State and Michigan game again.
Yeah, that was silly.
That was just silly. I'm not going to pick those easy games anymore.
Well, by the way, I mean, Maryland did okay at Michigan. By the way, that game was at Michigan.
Right. Well, I think Maryland showed. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
Ahead,
this will be Michigan's first road trip of the year. So, first time leaving the big house. We'll see if that plays any kind of factor.
Leaving the big house, going to the pink locker room. I like.
Can we can we get a special dispensation to open up the lots, or even earlier on Saturday, since the game's at 11 a.m. Central? So that we can get our fans nice and toasty. They're going to be stone sober. They're going to be stone sober during that game. They need to be a little toasty.
Yeah, you know what? They need to sell special tickets that open up the lots like an hour early, with all the proceeds going to the Children's Hospital.
There you go. Yeah,
that's a good one, Paul.
Let's help our team out by getting the fans a little crocked.
Yeah,
I still think we should have been a night game. I'm so disappointed that we might never get another night game like that again against the Michigan or something, because Fox gets first choice and Fox thinks it's the best game of the day.
That's a valid point. I didn't think about it like that, because Fox, their big time is the Fox big noon, whatever. Yeah. The big noon kickoff or whatever. So you're right. I didn't think about it like that. If it's actually the big game of the Big Ten.
Okay, here's how we predicted the Iowa. We all picked Iowa to win. I picked 18-6. Paul picked 17-3, and you picked Jason. You picked 10-0.
I did.
I think we were all a little off on that one.
Yeah, I even tweeted it and put it on my page. Everything Hawkeye Sports. That I just misjudged Iowa, right? They look.
Awesome. I was only predicting offensive points.
Yeah,
I
guess you're
right.
There
you
go. I mean, saying it like that, that's what I did actually, because I thought the offense would give us 10 points, and I thought the defense would shut them out.
Right.
But obviously, Iowa don't play like that. They got to score every way. They don't care.
I saw a post somewhere on Facebook yesterday that said something about what if the Iowa defense actually scores more points or more touchdowns this year than the Iowa offense. I just thought that was kind of funny. Kind of the sign of the way things are.
It is funny. They've only gave up 23 points in 4 games. They've scored 16 points in 4 games.
Right.
So they gave up 23 and scored 16.
So, thinking of that, I lost my train of thought again. Guys, I got to write this stuff down.
Yeah, dang. You're getting up there. You're getting to that age. You probably better write everything down.
See this? What's that tell you?
You're old.
That I only have one working eye. Okay. So,
what's our next week's pick?
We're going to pick them on Friday.
Okay.
We'll do that Friday. Give you guys a few more days to do that, and then I'll go through and I'm going to try to pick some ones that are going to be a little tougher. Those were almost too easy.
I'll try to put some locks together for Friday's locks, since I haven't been able to the last couple of weeks.
Okay, and hopefully Paul's with us on Friday. He's not floated away. Paul, are they telling you guys to get out of town or anything? Or are they telling you just to buckle down and wait for rain.
I mean, right now the models have the heart of the storm staying a little west of Jacksonville. The storm will be coming kind of from the other side of the state across, and so the traditional things that you might be concerned with a hurricane, like storm surge and things like that, aren't really a big issue. I think our biggest threat is going to be rain, flash flooding, and some potential tornadoes. So,
can I ask you a question about the potential? Until I heard a weatherman mention it, about you guys, I did not know that hurricanes spawn tornadoes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's a first for me. I did not know that. That's the first.
Well, I think anytime you get a storm that it's already kind of a big giant tornado. I mean, if you look at what it is as far as a big cyclonic but look, it is what it is. Like you live in Florida, it is hurricane season, and so it's just like you got Jason isn't going to sit here in January and complain about an ice storm or the next blizzard that's going to come rolling through. It's
right. Same.
When he's shoveling snow in the driveway, I'm going to be chipping and putting at the golf course. So
yeah. So you know what? Just a couple of weeks ago, we had California had a hurricane that was actually downgraded by the time it hit the coast, a tropical storm, and it was supposed to affect Bakersfield with rain. We got the rain 2 days late. It came overnight, and we got probably 1/10 of an inch or something like that. That was our big rain out of that. Thanks to the mountains completely surrounding Bakersfield. You don't get out of Bakersfield without climbing a mountain, going over it. But thanks to the mountains, we don't get any rain around here. That was our big rainstorm, guys.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Well, the great thing about rains in the mountains, though, is that you get that fresh mountain spring rain scent, and everything just smells clean and fresh, just like you can get when you order from Terry's Scentsy. So, guys, take advantage. We've got the link here. It's been up pretty much the whole show. It's the link's always there in the comments section. You can reach out to Terry Cosgrove. Reach out to her if you have questions. Go on the site. There's so many different products. There's clearance sections. There's stuff like that too. So there's deals to be had. Make sure you check out Terry's Scentsy page.
Thank you, guys. I guess this is where we wrap it up. Or you guys got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
I think we're good for today.
Bye, Terry.
Bye, Terry.
Bye, Terry.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's right.
Yes, we did. We went over that at the begining.
Okay.
Please do that and share. All right, guys. See you guys.
Hash brown it. Send it to the internet.
There you go.